Good afternoon, everyone. It's truly a pleasure to have you all today for this special webinar. Please note that this session is been recorded. We're gonna start in 2 minutes exactly. So give a chance for everyone to join. Thank you all for joining again. So we are joined by a remarkable group of faculty, administrators, and students from various higher education institutions coming together to share insights, exchange ideas, and learn from one another. I am very excited for today's session. My name is Dr. Hanaa Wahba, and I'll be the facilitator for today's webinar. Whether you are a student eager to explore new ideas, or a faculty member or an administrator contributing your experience and expertise, your presence helps make this vibrant and collaborative space. So I hope today's conversation will spark meaningful dialogue and deepen our understanding of this important topic, which is integrating AI into teaching and learning, and explore different ways of how to effectively integrate AI into teaching and learning. So thank you once again for joining us, and let's get started. It will be great if you turn on your cameras so I can see you and we can exchange ideas and participate all together. And again, as I said, we are all here, faculty, students, administrators, and students from different higher education institutions. And we hopefully it's going to be a productive session for all of us. I will start by sharing my screen. It's going to be like a mini activity. So I would like to ask you to go to this link and second. I will share the link in the chat box and I will share the screen as well. So go to this link and answer the question. And the question is, how do you view the integration of AI in an ESL classroom? Is it a valuable tool to enhance teaching and learning? Is it a useful with clear guidelines and limits? Is it risky, concerned about plagiarism? Should not be used at all in an ESL classroom. I'm going to give you time. I'm going to give you a few seconds more. So I can see from your responses right now that the majority of the participants chose useful with clear guidelines and limits. And I can say that I will also gonna choose the same one. So it's gonna be 13 participants choose useful. AI can be a useful tool with clear guidelines and limits. I also see two participants see that it is a valuable tool to enhance teaching and learning, and we cannot deny that. And I see one participant saying that it's risky, concerned about plagiarism. So I see like we have different views about it, and we know that artificial intelligence has become one of the most widely discussed and debated topics in education today. While many educators are encouraged and even expected to integrate AI tools into their teaching practices, there remains an ongoing conversation about its actual effectiveness in the classroom, particularly in an ESL classroom. Some view AI as a transformative tool that can support teaching and enhance learning, while others, however, there is valid concerns about its misuse, particularly when students rely on it to complete assignments, dishonestly resulting in plagiarism and academic dishonesty. So yes, it is a debatable topic, and it's we are here to let me share my screen to go over what exactly I'm planning to share today, or what are some of the important points that I am planning to cover today. So in this session, we will discuss practical ways of using AI effectively in the classroom, especially in contexts involving English language learners in higher education institutions. We will discuss it and explore ethical and practical application in higher education by sharing practical examples and strategies for incorporating AI to support language development, promote inclusivity, and foster a greater sense of belonging and participation among students. We will share, you will be able to share your insights, experiences, and lesson plans, maybe mini lesson plans or activities or projects that have worked in your classrooms, especially those that involve innovative and ethical uses of AI to help students improve their English language skills and engage more fully with their peers. Then we're going to have an opportunity for open questions and comments at the end of the session. I'm gonna start by giving an example first, and then of two lesson plans that I use with my students in the classroom, with English language learners, and with also my with my students in whom I teach like composition courses at SUNY Old Westbury. So it's a writing course. And I integrated AI into teaching to see how it's supposed to be a learning tool, and to help the students to learn. So let me start off by one lesson that I used. This is in a writing class, and that was at the beginning of the semester with advanced level students. It's advanced level 5 and level 6, so it's advanced mid advanced low and advanced mid students. And I also use this lesson with my students in, as I said, I teach composition course with for undergrad students at SUNY Old Westbury. So this lesson is like 3 days long, and the main theme of it is how to write a good paragraph development with AI and vocabulary enrichment. Um, by the end of the lesson, in general, students, they should be able to identify and apply the elements of a well-structured paragraph, how to write topic sentence, supporting details, closing sentence, how to write a coherent and topic-focused paragraphs on various topics, how to use AI. Particularly, I asked them to use like ChatGPT, this is one example. They don't have to use this, but there are other AI tool to help them as a writing assistant to revise and enhance their writing and to expand their academic vocabulary related to assigned topics. The whole point in here, they need to develop more vocabulary words to use them in their writing. So the materials needed in this lesson is like handouts with paragraph writing tips, which I discussed in detail in the classroom, and I showed them example of a good paragraph. Then I give them like list of paragraph topics. Here are the topics that I shared with the students in the class, like computers or tablets. Yeah, I mean, I gave them the list of the topics like computers, topics like voting, topics like working while studying, and topics like about health. Then the students, they supposed to use their computers or tablets with internet, whiteboard and markers, vocabulary recording sheets, peer review rubric, and paragraph rubric sheet. Those are the materials. For the paragraph writing practice, which is in day 1, the students, what they did is they need to focus on practice writing a good paragraph in the class without using AI. The students, as I said, I distributed like handouts with different topics. Each student selects or assigned to one topic. Like, as I said, those are the list of the topics that I send out to the students: computers, pollution, texting and driving, technology, voting, working in college, the advantages and disadvantages about this topic, getting a degree while working. Then students, they practice writing the paragraph in the classroom using the structure discussed. Then this is optional, but I did it, which is I ask the students to, once they finish writing, they exchange their writing with their partners so they can review it and provide them with feedback, focusing on a structure and clarity. And yeah, I'm sorry, you have a question? Okay. So in day 2, students, they were asked to use AI in here. The AI, which as I said, I asked them, oh, go ahead and use ChatGPT, input your original paragraph, and I asked them for revision and suggestions. And I asked the students to use the ChatGPT to help them to come up with at least 6 vocabulary words relevant to their paragraph topic. Students, they start to write their newly learned words on the whiteboard after. And once they finish writing their paragraphs and added more new vocabulary words that are related to their topics, students on day 3, they are asked to use the whiteboard to write down all the new vocabulary words on the board. And then all the students, they were asked to take all the new vocabulary words and write sentences. And then they discuss also, they were practice reading out loud their paragraphs in the classroom using the new vocabulary words. And what I did also, I asked the students, I incorporated like vocabulary quiz based on the words that they learned. And they were assigned to write like a short essay that includes 5 or 10 of the new vocabulary words that they learned. Would like to hear your feedback about this lesson, which is how I integrated AI in here in this lesson to help the students to develop more vocabulary words And also AI here help them to review and edit their paragraphs, and they learn also what are their mistakes in terms of structure, in terms of, and also learn more new vocabulary words. I want to stop sharing and I want to hear your opinion before moving on and share another lesson. Just share your opinion about it from a student perspective or from a teacher perspective. Anyone?
Question, Hannah. Hi, this is Abel. Some of you know me
Hi,
here.
Professor Abel, how are you?
How are you? Good. Just very simple question. I am interested in reliability of AI. Did you have a chance to go over its reliability with your students when you were doing this exercise?
Great question. So yes, because I have the original paragraph. So they have to submit the original paragraph that they practice writing in the class, along with the other paragraph when they use their AI. So the whole point in here is I'm sure they're gonna have mistakes in their writing, but they are using AI in this activity to learn what are the mistakes they have. So using it as a learning tool, as a tool to help them, to guide them, to edit, to see what are mistakes, what are the mistakes they have in the writing, and also to help them to develop more vocabulary words that are relevant to the topic that they are covering. At the same time, I have a paragraph rubric. So the paragraph rubric, I use it with the students to evaluate their writing skills. And there is also a peer review rubric because the students, when they share the writing with their peers, they were able to review each other's and submit comments to help them to make changes in the writing. So
Did you ask?
Yeah. I just want to say, in other words, this activity, this writing activity, it helps the students at the beginning to share their own perspectives about the topic on how to write a good paragraph, following the same structure, on having a topic sentence, enough supporting details with examples, facts, and details, and then the closing sentence. So they follow the structure that I discussed with them in the class. Then they practice writing without using any AI because they have to learn from the structure that we discussed in the class. Then AI here in another activity, it's supposed to be like a learning tool for them, helping them to know what are their mistakes in the writing. So what do you think about that?
Very good, excellent. But I have another question because I have been working on AI. Trying to use it in class. And my second question is, did you ask the students to submit the same paragraph several times? Because I've noticed that as we submit the same paragraph several times, the answers, the output may be different. So that's my question to you. Did they have a chance to submit the same material several times to see if they always got the similar answer, or was it a different answer? Because that varies.
This activity they submitted twice. One with their paragraph that they practice writing in the class. Then the second one, which is using AI, and I asked them to underline their mistakes. So because they have to see their mistakes by themselves to learn. And we all learn by doing mistakes. So once they know what they do and keep practicing it, they can have it in the next another writing activity in the class by submitting draft 1 and draft 2. And that's what I do with my students in the composition. When I teach composition, they have to like it's a portfolio. They have draft 1, draft 2, then the final version. So you can ask your students to submit like 2 drafts and then the final version if you prefer that. All right. So I would like to share my screen and go over another lesson for listening and speaking. Then I'm going to give everyone a chance to also share their own uh, um, maybe lessons or perspectives about the topic. So let me share my screen. So this lesson is it's mainly I use it with advanced law students, and they are specifically the classes for listening and speaking, and the topic is like comparing prodigies with individuals with disabilities. So it's also 3 days or three different classes. The first one is the objectives of the lesson is to identify and compare key characteristics of prodigies and individuals with disabilities through written expression, and after that they did also an oral presentation about it, and they use AI tools to revise the writing and expand topic related vocabulary, and they apply new vocabulary in context through sentence writing. They actually assign to write scenarios and be prepared for a role play activity. In the materials needed here, audio recordings, we have Prodigy, an audio recording Prodigy, and the other one, a person with disabilities. And the two audio recordings, it's in a textbook called North Star. And the another material, they use writing paper or a digital device like a laptop. They have access to AI like ChatGPT, whiteboard materials and markers, vocabulary log sheet, and a compare and contrast graphic organizer to take notes while listening. To be specifically about the graphic organizer, I explain them to use like a Venn diagram to compare and contrast, like submit similarities and differences between the prodigy person and an individual with disability. In the first class, the students, we have the listening activity, but I started off with like a pre-listening discussion before they watch the video and listen to the audio text. So the question is like, what is a prodigy? What challenges might a person with a disability face? Can someone be both? A brief class discussion to activate background knowledge about how they understand the differences between a prodigy person and a person with disability. Then we're going to have a listening activity. We watch the video. During watching the videos, I stop to ask a question to check their comprehension. Then students, they had like a writing activity, like to compare and contrast and highlight like key differences and similarities between a prodigy person and an individual with a disability. In the second class, students were asked to use AI in here to review the writing and enhance vocabulary. Again, they check their writing and AI helped them to use like I asked them to check with AI to use different new vocabulary words that are related to the writing topic. The students use the whiteboard after to list down all the new vocabulary words that are related to the topic, and all the students in the class, they started to take notes and write down all the new vocabulary words. In the third class, the students were able to work in groups to have like to write a scenario and using the new vocabulary words that they learned and about the topic, of course. Then they practice having a role play activity with their peers. I actually recorded my students for those who are interested to see the recording, I will do that. Just reach out to me so I can send you the recordings to see how the students actually succeeded in having this writing scenario and role play activity. Extension students may create like I created like vocabulary quiz based on the collective class words, and students, they also write a reflection essay about inclusivity and talent from different perspectives. Let me stop sharing. I would like to hear your feedback about this lesson. Again, from a student perspective or from a teacher perspective, what do you think about it? I see a lot of perspectives added here in the chat box. I would like you to go ahead and share your perspective out. Like, I would like it to hear your, to be more an active participation with everyone. Would like to hear your feedback about it. So what do you think about this lesson? It's listening and speaking, but it has also a writing component. So what do you think about it? Go ahead, Anne.
Hi, it's
Anne.
very interesting. So I really appreciate your doing this, Hannah, because I got very burned. Well, I'm still smarting from last semester when I realized all my students were using AI. Even to go to the Hofstra Museum, they all wrote the same thing because they asked AI. So I love the idea of using it to generate new vocabulary, but I still feel like I'm playing with fire, like I'm giving them a little. How do I know they don't take the whole thing and then on their own just ask ChatGPT to just write this for me?
I agree with you, and that's why nowadays we are here to learn different effective ways of using it, because no matter how many times we're gonna say to our students not to use it, they will use it. But we are here supposed to be we should guide our students on how to effectively use it as a learning tool, not to use it to plagiarize, not to use it to just do the work for them. So we need to have this flexibility on learning different effective ways of how to effectively use it, and enable our students to use it, but it should be under our guidance, how they can actually use it. It's not like they can use it at any time to just do the work for them. And I see that in this semester with my students, like they actually using it when I ask them to use it, not to use it like to complete their work. They were happy that they use it to actually help them to develop more vocabulary words. Now they learn from it. They have mistakes, they have problems, they have, to edit the structure, how the word choice. So they start to see it as a good and effective tool to learn, not as a tool to just complete the work for them. Yes, Professor Joseph? Professor Joseph, you have, yeah.
Joseph, you're mute.
You are muted.
Muted.
You are still muted.
All right, Hanaa, if I can
Yeah.
I jump for a few things?
Sure.
A few things. Hanaa, I understand your concern regarding and Anne also, Professor Anne, your concern regarding AI. I want to share something that I did this morning, and that kind of really opened my eyes to it. And let's see, I was looking for example of argument and counter arguments. I would like to do something this week on argument and counter argument, so I went there because I use AI just like for data. All right, so then I select what I'm interested in using and not. This is what happened. I asked AI to provide an argument and a counter argument, which it did. And then I looked carefully and I, read everything carefully, and I noticed that the counter argument had nothing to do with the argument. So how can an intelligent computer do that. So then I went, my next question was, well, AI, hi, I don't think this counter argument doesn't correspond to the argument. Yeah. And the answer I got from it was, great question. Great catch, but I don't expect a catch from AI. So here's my conclusion to this. It's very useful, but you have to use your critical thinking. And next week in the classroom, we will use argument and counter argument, and see if the counter argument corresponds to the argument. And that will be a very good exercise in critical thinking, because people just copy things without thinking. They don't see, and AI does make mistakes, all right? Or provide information that does not correspond to what you are asking for, all right? And that's what I wanted to highlight today. It just
Thank you
happened
very
to
much.
be.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Professor Bill. It's like, yeah, we are in this world, we need our students to improve their critical thinking skills. So they still need to think about the topics and share it from a different perspective, because everyone is from different cultural background. So we're not expecting one answer for one topic. If if we're discussing one topic, we have a lot of different responses about it, because everyone is from different cultural background, and we are expected different responses based on their prior knowledge, based on their experiences in life. So thanks for sharing that. And I also would like the future educators, they are joining us here from LIU, and I would like them to go ahead. Alyssa, she is one of the future educator at LIU, and she is going to share her perspectives and probably start sharing your mini lesson about how to integrate AI into teaching and learning. Go ahead, Alyssa.
Hello everyone, my name is Alyssa. I'm a freshman at LIU, and my perspective on AI as a student is definitely viewed as the easy way to do things, because I took a class last semester that was called Technophobia and Technophilia, which basically talked about using AI in the classroom, and a big part of that was he made us use AI to do our lessons and stuff like that, and he wanted to see incorporated clips of like how we used AI to make a lesson plan, or how we used AI to grade work, write essays. And I definitely know, as being a teenager, I see all my friends using ChatGPT. I won't even lie, I've used ChatGPT before to help me with things, and it is so normalized now to use ChatGPT, and it's expected because it will do it for you. But as Professor Abel had just said, it does not always do it correctly, because I had put it to the test during my Technophobia and Technophilia class, and I had it write me a paper, and there were so many grammar errors within this paper, and there were so many things that I wouldn't say, and it created situations for me. Like, I gave it what I wanted it to write about, and it created people, and it created things that I didn't tell it to write it about. So at the end of the day, I feel like we need to recognize that it is still not human. It is a machine, it is technology, and it is something that can't be trusted immediately to always be accurate, because it does have a mind of its own in a sense. And I feel like as a student here, plagiarism is one of the things that goes against the LIU code of conduct. So it needs to be more widely recognized that teachers do have software to view when AI is used, and that it does not just, to be blunt, it does make students dumber, because it takes away, like he was saying, Professor was saying, the critical thinking skills that we needed before ChatGPT or whatever to write, and it's taking away from those. So now all we have to do is type into ChatGPT, make me a lesson plan for X, Y, and Z, and it will do it. So my opinion is that AI is useful in situations where it is monitored,
Yes.
but very harmful in situations where kids are let with free reign.
Absolutely.
It's used like a pair of scissors. You can cut paper with it or cut yourself with it. It's up to you. So it depends how you use it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing your perspectives, Alyssa, about this important topic. I would like to ask everyone maybe to share. I have also future educators in here who would like to share like a mini lesson plan. John, would you like to share yours?
Hello, everyone. It's me. Sure. Yeah, I was working with Angelo on it. Hold on one second. I don't have it ready right now. Angelo, do you happen to have it available?
No, I don't. I have to open it.
If
Yeah,
you
hang
need,
on one sec. I would just have to
share
pull it
my
up.
lesson plan. It's open.
Go ahead, Alyssa, share yours. And
Okay,
then
one
until
second.
John and Angelo is ready.
Let me just share it.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen now. Entire screen. Also, okay, one second. Chrome tab. Okay, here we go. Share. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay, so my partner was Mary. She's also a student at LIU, a freshman, but unfortunately she's on a bus traveling to go play because she's on the women's lacrosse team. So our lesson plan was all about animals for kindergarten, and the subject was animal sounds and vocabulary. The time frame was 40 minutes, and the focus was developing vocabulary, speaking and listening skills, and fundamental sentence construction. And AI integration, because the task was to incorporate AI to support ELL learners. So our AI integration was using an AI chatbot or voice-activated language learning tool to practice the vocabulary. The learning goals, which would be identify the animals in English, make animal noises, or say basic phrases. You have our materials, which are like picture cards, a tablet, speakers, stuffed animals or puppets if you'd like them. For our warm-up, we were going to do Sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm while doing hand gestures for 5 minutes, and then ask what animals do you know. For our overview, we did display the flashcards individually, teach the sounds and the names of animals, say it's a cow, the cow says moo, and ELL support is stress the importance of using gestures, repetition, and clear pronunciation. The AI gets integrated in when students will practice their vocabulary in pairs using AI. They will tap images of animals, listen to the names, try saying them, and obtain basic comments because most of these softwares will give back feedback saying excellent work or good job, or if you get it wrong, it'll say try again. And then the teacher can move around and support the students when necessary. Then you'll do a guess the animal game to practice for about 7 minutes. Then for 5 minutes after that, you'll create basic sentences like this is a cow, this is a duck. And the students can alternately record and speak things like the words I just said. To wrap up, you'll use the flashcards to review the names of animals, give kids credit for their efforts and praise them for their efforts, and say which animal did you enjoy the most today. For an evaluation, informally, you can pay attention to participation and pronunciation. And AI-based evaluation is you can keep an eye on the AI app's feedback to identify any students who require additional assistance. And a review at the end of class could be, can students properly name at least 2 animals? And support and differentiation for ELLs would be using gestures, visuals, and clear modeling. An AI tool also exposes the users to words repeatedly. Peer assistance during pair exercises, and if speech is difficult, you can answer by making noises or gesturing. That's all we have.
Very good, Alyssa. Thank you very much for sharing this lesson, and it's very, you have like an interactive activity also using AI. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I would like to ask other educators to share more interactive activities using AI to enhance learning and help students to effectively use it. So anyone wants to share? Are you ready now, John and Angelo? You are muted.
I think so. I have it up. I'm not 100% sure how to share something. I think Angelo did it last time. Oh, is it here? Hold on. I'm so bad with technology. The least qualified person to talk about AI.
It's fine. You would see like a green arrow on the bottom, say underneath it, you say the word share. So
Okay, got it there. Hold on. I think this. Allow. Yes. Shows quit. Hold on, I see share. Now will it let me do it? Now it'll let me do it. Okay, everybody can see?
yep.
Cool. Okay. Okay. So for our lesson, we were thinking of like a 40-minute eighth grade lesson. Similar actually to the one that we had talked about in class where you would use AI to sort of help you structure a paragraph. If you were to write your own like creative story. And you can use AI to sort of help you gain vocabulary or structure sentences if you needed to. So that was our main activity would be to introduce a couple prompts to AI, things you can write your story about anything, could be fiction, nonfiction. I was thinking to try and promote maybe like a personal story about yourself, because later on in the lesson plan, I was thinking you would share it with each other. So that way it would also give the class an opportunity to get to know each other a little bit better, and communicate with peers as well. But either way, you would have AI help you structure a short story about anything that you want to. And then students would be able to break off into groups and share their stories with each other to get an opportunity to peer edit and work on not only thinking and writing with a language they might not be familiar with, but also getting a chance to talk to other people who have varying levels of being comfortable with that as well. So they can get a chance to learn from each other more so than the AI. Really trying to stress that AI is the tool here and not necessarily like the assignment isn't necessarily to write the paragraph. The emphasis is more so on learning and getting better using multiple tools, AI being one of them, teacher walking around and helping being another one, and then students also being available to work with each other. And the assessment, of course, would be how comfortable everyone ends up being with that, how if they're able to get a story out or how much they're able to communicate with everyone else. And teacher would be able to observe that by observing the class.
Thank you very much for sharing this lesson, John. And well, I really like when you said that it is one of the tools, like you have different multiple tools, especially we would like to help our students to know that this is not the only tool that's going to help them to learn. They actually going to learn while working with each other in the class, because it's when they get together and work with their partners and everyone has different perspectives, they learn from one another. So if you don't have to rely only on AI to learn in general, right? Do you agree about that?
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. That was part of the intention there was to use AI, but to also use your teacher and to also use your peers around you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing this lesson. And while also I'm reading in the chat box, I see a lot of great responses in terms from a teacher perspective, from a student perspective, and how is AI is actually can help to facilitate the process of teaching and learning. So yeah, I would like to just say at the end something which is uh, uh, probably it's like my final thoughts about it. Like educators have a responsibility not only to integrate AI into their instructional practices, but also to guide the students in using it ethically and productively. by doing that, we move beyond the fear of misuse and instead foster a culture of innovation, critical thinking, and responsible digital citizenship. And to actually benefit from it in our classroom, we must remain committed to ongoing learning, exploring new techniques, adapting our approaches, and sharing best practices. And AI should not replace the learning process, but it's actually just a tool. So it should help our students to grow, participate more actively, and feel more connected in their educational journey. So I really would like to have more, to continue this conversation with each other and support one another and work together to make sure that AI becomes a meaningful and empowering part of education for both teachers and the students. So I want to stop sharing in here, and I would like to hear more feedback and comment or questions and comments about what do you think now about AI? Are you willing to use it as a student or as a teacher, or you are still hesitant, or you're still not sure how to do it? So let me hear more feedback from you.
I definitely feel more informed on how to use it, but I am still nervous to use it because I guess I still wonder if the students will use it too much or if it'll be like almost like a crutch for them. So,
I agree with you. I mean, we still in the process of learning on how to effectively use it, but we still need to be like we still need to guide our students on how to effectively use it and not misusing it in the classroom. Yeah, Professor Joseph?
Yes, I'd like to know. I'm sorry, I'm having audio problems. I'm down over here. I'm happy so that if I have at least everyone can hear me. I have a question regarding for AI. Which programs have, because there are several ones that you would find best for ESL or for language learning for teaching and using AI in ESL, because there are several. Which ones do you gravitate to and why? And which ones are you more wary about, if any? Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me, Professor Joseph?
Yes, yes. Have you heard me?
So
Yes.
the one that I ask my students to use is ChatGPT. And Grammarly is another good, useful one, but I mean, it's good for the students actually to use it to learn how to improve their writing skills and to point out their mistakes in terms of grammar, structure, and all of that. So those are the two AI tools that I recommend for educators to maybe ask their students to use in the classroom. And again, it should be under their supervision. Any
Okay,
other? Of
thank
course,
you.
my pleasure. Any other comments, questions about this important topic?
Hello. Yes, I'm back.
Yes,
I have
Professor.
I have one more point to make. I use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Not a secret. Now, of course, students will go to ChatGPT, get the data, the information, spit it out, copy, plagiarize, everything. But what ChatGPT doesn't know is the format that I'm requesting. So if you're doing writing, and if you're working on, for example, introductions, okay, and all the stages that go through, they have to go through. ChatGPT is not going to do it for them. So this is where you see that you have to use your critical thinking. ChatGPT is like Google. It's easier than Google because you can get all the information you know without the advertising and so on and so forth. But it is a tool, and it does not read my mind and does not tell them exactly the format that I'm requesting. So I will get beautiful essays that have nothing to do with what I requested. And this is what I'll have to say to faculty and students. When you use ChatGPT, make sure you learn, you know what the professor is requesting, and use it just as a tool to gather information, to gather vocabulary, to gather examples, to gather God knows what, even data, so that you can, provide a good essay. But the structure, it doesn't go. It does not give you the structure. Or at least I don't know how to do that. Thank you.
There is, this question, Professor Joseph asked me this question in the chat box, and I highlighted like 3 different tools, AI tools, Grammarly, Quillbot, and ChatGPT, which is they can identify syntax errors like subject-verb agreements, misplaced modifiers, incorrect word order. It suggests clearer or more grammatically accurate sentence structures, and it rephrase awkward or complex sentences to make them more readable. So yeah, they are actually good tools to help the students. We just need to learn how to effectively use it. Thank you all for sharing your thoughts and ideas about it, and hopefully we can have more online workshops so we can all get together, share our all perspectives about it, and share more practical examples of how to effectively integrate AI into teaching and learning, and we can have more great webinars in the future. So yeah, thank you all for joining me today, and hopefully you found it as an informative session. Have a great day.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Angela. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, Praxi. Thank you, Hella.
Thank you, Dr. Wahba.
Of course. Thank you. My pleasure, Alyssa. Thank you, Hala. Of course, we're going to have more online workshops in the future. Thank you. And thanks for joining Angela today's session.
Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure.
Hi.
Just waiting in here for anyone if you have any questions or. I agree. It could be helping in grading and feedback, because I found out that it's actually can create rubrics for educators to use in the classroom, but you have to give specific questions to how you want to create your rubric so you can use it for grading. Not grading, giving the students the grade, but can create rubrics to evaluate students' work. But that's a great question. Thank you. Nahla, she's asking about the recording. I'm going to stop the recording actually now, and then after that, this is going to be posted on my YouTube channel. The link will be added. We should add the link of the YouTube in here, but let me share my screen so you can follow my social media platforms. Here you go. Yeah, you can see all my educational platforms. It's called All About Education by Dr. Hanaa Wahba. So feel free to join to follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And the recording will be shared on my social media. Great question, Nahla. Thank you. And thanks for joining us. I gotta stop sharing so I can see your questions in the chat box. Thanks for sharing, Praxi, the link. This is my Instagram page. Goodbye. Thank you, Nahla. Take care. Any other questions? And thanks, Praxi, for sharing the Facebook page. All right. Are you good? Thank you all. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.